here we are again, this time with Johanna Hopfgartner from Austria, who's going to give us a workshop on 18th and 19th century mounted saber systems. Right?
Yes.
All right. Tell us a bit more.
Well, I decided, since it's a pandemic and I can't do no partnered exercises anyway, and I don't really know about you, I thought it could be a good time to try out something fun and a bit more exotic. Oh yeah, plus we're in a global pandemic and maybe it will turn into a zombie apocalypse soon. And well, I watched The Walking Dead recently and I watched the pilot episode and I'm pretty sure there's a horse there. So those of you who watched it as well know how handy a horse can be in a zombie apocalypse. So if you're ever in this situation, here's what we're going to do. Today I work with the book from Le Marchand. I hope I didn't butcher the name there. He was a Brit and he published the book in 1796. It's British, I'm sorry, because I know people don't really like British sabre because everyone does British sabre, but we're going to do British sabre as well. Originally, I wanted to do it outdoors with my horse, but my neighbor is using his chainsaw and he has been using it for some hours now, so I'm doing it inside with the horse you're going to see in the back. But I recorded the videos of the guards and of the cuts on my horsey, and I might publish it for you so you can see how it's supposed to look like on a real horse. We're going to have a look at some of the guards. There is only one guard, from which we will start all our movements and techniques in, and I'm going to show you some of the basic attacks of the parries, and if we still have time, I'm really not sure, we're going to have a look at one of the techniques, pieces, plays, however you want to translate it. So we're going to start. You don't really need a horse if you don't have a horse, although hobby horses really do count. Usually, I'm just going to quickly change my camera. Oh yeah, so usually if people practice cavalry sabre and don't have a horse themselves, they just stand there with the feet at this far apart, like you're sitting on a horse, and this will work totally fine. I will still use my pony here, just so. Oh, Max is laughing right now. Just so you can see the position of the horse in relation to my body, okay? So we're going to start with the basic guard from which we will start all our movements and techniques from. It's basically, oh, don't forget to lift your left hand because you're holding bridles right now, so you can't have it swinging around somewhere. Just put it at the height of your belly button or somewhere and leave it there. You can't really move it, or you can, but you will lose the control of your horse, so keep it there. So if you want to go into guard, you just lift your right hand so that your saber is in a horizontal position at somewhat of your level of your eyes, so there at that height. Le Marchand tells us to slightly lower the position of our edge so that it's not the edge facing forward, but slightly down, because Le Marchand doesn't really want us to parry with our edge. If we can, he wants us to parry with the flat or even with the back of the sword. So to protect our edge, he wants us to slightly, in the guard, slightly angle the blade of our sword down. So that's the guard from which we will usually approach our enemy and from which we usually start our attacks. Yeah, it looks like that. Yes. So we're going to have a look at the 6 cuts, which are the same 6 cuts as in every sabre system, I guess. The first one is the normal diagonal from the right to the left, just like this. I'm going to do it to the front now. If you do it on horseback, you will hit your horse's head like this. But since we're just going through very, very basic cuts, we're doing it that way. You can angle it slightly to the right or slightly to the left, depending on where you want to aim your cuts. But just now for practice, I'll do it straight ahead. So cut 1 would be the normal diagonal downward cut from the right. Cut 2 would be the normal diagonal cut from the left to the right, like this. And we're going to always start it from the guard position and end in the guard position. So cut 1 and cut 2. Cut 3 and cut 4 are the basic Unterhaue, the basic rising cuts. The third one from the right side, cut 3, and the fourth one from the left side, cut 4, and always ending in the guard position myself. You might spot me thumbing the back of my blade like this. This is a bad habit of mine. Le Marchand doesn't really want it, also because he's using much heavier sabers than I'm using right now. I'm using a super heavy French infantry saber, and he's got much heavier swords. So there are only a few instances where he allows us to put the thumb on the back of our blade. Don't do it during the cuts. So again, we have cut 1 and back into guard, cut 2 and back into guard, cut 3, back into guard, cut 4, back into guard. And we also have cut 5 and cut 6, which are the horizontal cuts at eye level. Cut 5 would be from the right, and cut 6 would be from the left. He does not have a cut 7 or cut 8 like other saber manuals, like Hutton, for example, has. He only has those 6. So again, cut 1, cut 2, cut 3, cut 4, cut 5, and cut 6. Yeah. Now we're gonna have a look at the parries. He has more parries than other saber systems, or other saber systems I know. He has got 7 parries in total. And while other saber systems might tell us to parry with the edge, he tells us to, if we can avoid it, to never parry with the edge. Going to do it like this. No. The first 2 parries I'm going to show us are left protect and right protect. Yeah. Left protect is from the guard position. You lower your hilt and put it on the left side with the edge facing to the right. From the guard position, lower the hilt and put it to your left side. The edge should be facing right. If a cut comes from that side, you're supposed to parry it with the flat or even with the back if you can. But don't parry with the edge. From the guard position, lower the hilt and put it to your left side. The right protect is super similar to the left protect. Actually, we can go from the guard into left protect, and just from that position, shift the sword to the right side. From that position, your edge should be facing to the right. The back of the sword should be facing to your left. And should a parry come in, you can parry it with the back or with the flat, but don't put the edge towards the incoming cut. So left protect and right protect. The next parries I'm going to show you in a bundle of 3, which are very similar ones. Yeah. So if you're in a guard position, this time we are assuming that someone attacks our bridle arm, that is our left arm. So from the guard position, we're going to drop our point and shift the sword a bit to our left side and go into a somewhat hanging position, I would say. This should protect our bridle arm. It should not protect our head. So it's not supposed to really be over our head. If you want to protect our head, we have other parries. So this one should mainly cover our bridle arm. From that position, the next one is the so-called sword arm protect. We're going to assume someone is attacking our sword arm. So from the bridle protect, we're gonna turn the sword around our head and go into a somewhat high octave position, Hutton would call it. It's just a semicircle from the bridle arm protect around the head to that side. This is one of the parries where you're supposed to parry with the edge. That position, again, leaves the head very open. So usually that parry is followed by the so-called St. George's parry, which other saber systems have as well. So from the sword arm protect, just go upwards into a position, into a hanging position that covers your head with your sword. That's the so-called St. George's position, St. George's parry, or head parry. He calls it all 3 of them. So again, from a guard position into a bridle arm parry, into a sword arm parry, into a St. George's parry. Yeah. All of the 5 parries I just showed you are parries that are supposed to cover yourself, but not necessarily your horse. We have 2 parries that are actually aimed to protect our horse. One of them is the so-called horse head near side protect. So if that is our horse's left side is our near side, and if we want to protect it, we're gonna go from a guard position, drop the point to the left until it's in a somewhat prime position in other saber manuals, with a low hanging point, with the point being at a level with the horse's jaw, for example. So it should definitely cover the left side of a horse's head. That's the so-called horse head near side protect. Ugh, what a tongue twist. So from the guard position, horse head near side protect. Guard, horse head near side protect. So we also have a horse off side protect. This one's for our horse's right side. It's very similar to our right parry, which is that one, our right protect actually. But this time we're having it lower down at the horse's side. So it's supposed to protect our horse's head or our thigh, for example. It's not as low as the horse's near side protect. It's a bit more horizontal. And when you're in a guard position, you lower your sword hilt on your right side and use it like a right flute, for example, in longsword. Yeah, that's the horse's offside protect. Those are the parries we're going to work with. They're also the points or the thrusts. But Le Marchand doesn't really want us to thrust against other cavalry. He prefers us to thrust against footmen or infantry. For the play I'm going to show you, it's not necessary to thrust. We just have a scenario of an attack and how it could play out And I'm just going to show you the one. So we are on our horse, charging into glorious battle or whatever. Since we're facing our opponent, we're going into the normal guard position. So now we are doing the so-called assault. We're going to attack our opponent. We're going to use it as an opportunity to practice the 6 cuts again. So I want you to, from that position, to do the 6 cuts in succession to your right or to your left side, whatever you imagine your opponent to be. So from the guard position, cut 1, cut 2, cut 3, cut 4, cut 5, cut 6. We're going to go, we're going to return into guard and look if anyone's, I don't know, attacking us. And indeed, we are being pursued. We have to run away or do the so-called French advance. No, we're going to have to run away. I'm so sorry. We're going to run away. Don't forget to look behind you. Oh no, someone's following us. So someone's following us and attacking us to our left side. We're going to use the bridle arm protect to ward off any attack coming to our bridle arm. Sadly, it's not all. We're also being attacked on our right side. So from the bridle arm attack, we're going to swing around into the sword arm protect and catch an attack in that direction or from that direction. From the sword arm protect, we're going to go into St. George's parry just to keep safe. And we're going to end it all with a cut 6 to the rear to end it all. And afterwards go back into guard. So that's a piece that is, or Stück or technique, that's in Le Marchand. It's the second assault he presents us with, and we're just going to do it again. So from the guard position, we're going to go attack. We're going to do the assault, use it to practice our 6 cuts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Go back into guard. Oh no, see that we're being followed. Run away. Protect our bridle arm. Protect our sword arm. Go back into St. George's parry. And now I think I'm going to strike my cupboard, so I'm going to be careful. Do a cut 6 to the rear to end it all. And back into guard. So, yeah, that was the second assault. Implementing cuts 1 to 6, 3 of the parries, another cut 6, and a chance to insult the French. No, sorry. Yeah, that was basically it. I don't think I have. I'm a bit early, but I'm pretty good with ending it here.
Well, there's still quite a few questions to have, and if more come, we'll answer those. So the first one is you've shown how to protect your bridle arm, sword arm, head on both sides. Now, what's the question? How do you protect your legs?
Ooh, there is actually a guard called thigh protect. It's not really in the book itself. It's called a new guard. So it's something fancy. It's basically like the horse's offside protect, for example, if it comes to our right side, and just pull it back a little. And being careful, of course, to not parry with the edge, because a lot of my strong, I guess.
Yeah. All right. So that was one. The other one I noticed was that when you do the sword arm protect parry, it was noticed that you hold it quite loosely.
Yes.
Isn't there the risk of losing the sword?
Probably. I
Well,
Be careful. Try to do it in a way that comes naturally and in a way that's that way in the illustration, and it's pretty close to that in the illustration. So I'm guessing he has it really loose.
all right. Yeah, well, you are protecting probably from cuts that come from the side, so that probably strike into the blade. But there was a question from, I think, one of the French you scared away probably.
Oh no!
After.
Oh no, they were French.
Yeah, yes, I saw a drop in our viewers from like at least 3, so they're probably gone. No, but that does make sense, and that it probably if you're holding it like that, and if it's that close in the books, then probably due to movement and that kind of stuff. Other thing I would like to ask is, in that you said that he does not like that you thrust at cavalry. Why is that?
He says.
Oh, he's still here. He hasn't gone. He's still here.
He says that if they manage to parry it, you are far too extended and they are far too close for you to be able, with your super heavy cavalry saber, to do anything else. So he says he does have thrust against cavalry, but only against retreating riders.
Yeah.
So if they're running away, you can stab them. But apart from that, you're usually only supposed to stab infantry.
All right, and still also cut infantry or only stab infantry?
Good question. I have seen both in the books, but yeah, both I'd say. Definitely more cut heavy when it comes to riders, but I think both for infantry.
All right. Then there was one question I saw for the St. George Guard.
Oh yeah.
So why was it? Is there a specific is the reason why it's horizontal because the horse's head is diagonal, or is it more of a broader area you want to cover from just above?
The St. George's parry, so that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not really sure. No. It is taught in the succession. I show it, so it's taught as one movement. So going from guard position into bridle arm, back into sword arm, and into St. George's. So maybe it's got something to do with that, because it needs to be a fluid motion or whatever. But how else would you do it?
I don't know. I just read the questions.
Okay.
I'm just a messenger. No, but I believe in that a lot of the guards we have, if you start thinking about mainly longsword, where I'm more proficient in, or that is usually they are all vertical or diagonal blocks instead of horizontal. So maybe that's enough the background from the question, that it's more from a longsword ID.
To cover the most head.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. All right. Then I have another question. So you said you were doing this subject because they're doing something new. So how did you came up to do 18th and 19th century cavalry saber?
It all started when I laid hands on a sharp saber. And yes. I had a horse and I had melons.
How do you mean had a horse? I hope you still have the horse.
I still have a horse, but I came across a sharp saber and melons, and I thought, oh wow, I'm going to slay some melons on horseback. And I loved it. So I started I looked into British saber, because that was what I was usually doing. From now on, I'm tending to go more into Austrian K&K, Austro-Hungarian saber, but they're super similar anyway.
It's just the same, and you had a horse, basically.
basically.
All right. I'm gonna check if any questions. I did make a mistake. It wasn't St. George Guard he was talking about, but it was Right Guard.
Oh, right guard. To be honest, I myself hate left protect and right protect. All of the other guards make sense to me, but if I would do the movement in a way that came natural to me, mine wouldn't be vertical either. So because in the illustrations and in the description, he really tells us to go vertical with that direction, vertical with the blade.
Yeah.
But he doesn't really offer an explanation. And from my natural sword and saber experience, I would parry with the edge, okay?
For starters, yes.
I would definitely go more horizontal like this. But he is very clear. He wants this and he wants this.
All right. Yeah. So it's in that matter, it's quite a clear manuscript. It has very clear things on what to do and what not to do.
Yes. Oh, and what I need to add probably is it's one of the earliest saber or mounted saber manuscripts. It's not a manuscript. Books. Yeah. I know. And the modern ones, they've changed a lot. So apart from this one, I don't really know any saber or saber book that enforces back parries or that enforces that kind of parries that seem a little, I don't know, unnatural.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing he has a reason.
Probably. Yeah, that's usually when we dig into more and more of it. We usually find out those reasons, and then we think, why didn't we do this from the start?
True.
At least that's what I have usually. All right, then I thought I saw one other question, but I lost it. So give me 1 second. Yeah, that was of course to do with the upper body, but it was already slightly answered in the chat. But maybe you can go a bit further into it. When you are using the saber now, it seems that you're moving your upper body quite little, and your lower body as well. Has it to do with the horse riding aspect of it, or is it just that basically the rules of the manuscript or the book?
It doesn't really say that you're not allowed to move your upper body at all. Of course, when you're on a horse, your legs are more in a fixed position than they are when you're in foot. So of course you can shift a bit with your knees and with your hips, but of course you can't do lunges or any footwork or anything. But you can.
I don't think so.
But you can definitely lean around in the saddle. There are even Austrian manuscripts that tell you if you're fighting against infantry on a horseback to really lean down on the side of your horse to protect yourself.
All right.
So you can definitely lean.
All right, so that's okay. I don't have any further questions. I really enjoyed this lecture. It was really fun. And it's given us some more insights in the how to defend against a zombie apocalypse / probably Italian infantry kind of thing, or French infantry if you're running the other way.
Thank you.
But it was really enjoyable, and you'll probably get tons of messages about how you came up about this and how this is going.
We'll see. To be fair, I recorded earlier an outside session with my horse where I did all the parries and cuts and even the play on horseback. I will edit it and I will publish it for you, so you know how it's supposed to look on a real horse and not on a
yeah, you should
kind of horse.
Well, that's a real horse. That's a real inside horse. That's a real inside horse.
All right.
So, thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed it.
Oh, yes.
And I hope to see you soon again.
All right. Thanks, Max. Thanks.
All right. Yeah.